Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Check, mic check, mic check.
So I see the the passion in his face and the watery eyes and stuff like that. And well, I'm gonna leave on this though. You know what they tell us, truth hurt, but pretty much people hear that and think that's some kind of cliche saying. But see, it pains black people to hear the truth. It pains them, and they don't want to know the truth. Because see, when you get the truth, it reflects on you in a certain sense. So black folks want to be lied to. They like to share, and they like to lie to themselves because it makes them feel good.
We can hear it, girl. I had to switch streams. I just wanted to go over some information.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for calling in with that.
Let me I'm only just going to be a few minutes because I done wasted enough time trying to get this logged on, and I have to get up pretty early, as you guys know. Okay. And I just want to get this settled once and for all. I understand, and I watched how Don Russell did his flip-flopping move. However, that came with the motive as well. As I stated on my other live, nobody really knows what was the reason that him and R. Kelly fell out. And at this point, it don't even matter. It doesn't even matter to me. Obviously, it matters a lot to Bookham because his motive and his goal is to prepare himself to take down any and everybody based on who he believes took R. Kelly's money or intellectual property or this and that. And he has no grounds to stand on to do anything at all, unless he's got some hidden paperwork that has authorized him or put him in some type of official position to do so. Now, I gathered my opinion, my stance, based on what I saw, what I perceived, not nobody else. I listened and I watched Don Russell as he go around. Don Russell put out more information pertaining to a lot of people that was involved around R. Kelly than Bookham has ever done. Bookham has went so far as to repeating some of the things that Don Russell has shared with the public out here to bring informative information about certain people who had access in his money, who was stealing. He did that. Bookham couldn't tell nobody nothing about the Cheryl Mack. He literally sat over there and damn near verbatimly repeated what Don Russell put out in the public. You say that's better. But you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of this. He made it very convincing, Don Russell did, when he started out. putting out information, saying things that no others had out here. Now, of course, we know that Sylvia came out and, put out information pertaining to the notarization, how something wasn't legal to do so because a document was expired. We know that Don Russell got himself involved with that freaking, what is it, the Hessen House or the Husen House or whatever that place was over there in New York. And I still stand on that. There is no way in hell that you would take someone who has come so far to position themselves to, I guess, ride it out with R. Kelly pertaining to if he needed to get research or, doing some research and helping in any, by any means necessary. That was there. It was very hard to detect whether if he came in all of a sudden out of nowhere to have a setup plan against R. Kelly. You couldn't detect that at the beginning. And I still don't believe that he came in the door to have some type of vendetta against R. Kelly to set up things where he would retrieve intellectual property or any money just out of the blue. I believe that something happened between those two. That's clear. But you mean to tell me that a guy just come out of nowhere and decides to go and do all of what he did with the threat, with the calling in the situation that occurred at that filming, right? Guess who was at the filming? The people that were up against R. Kelly. Guess what they were going to be filming in there? Information that can be showed and to the public out here through a video to convince people that this is what R. Kelly was doing. So you mean to tell me that he go out there and he take a risk to shut down public, the private filming or viewing or whatever they were doing up in there. And Cash Jones just so happened to be lurking around up in there with Angelo. But yet then, his information get traced back to him through commerce, whatever they call that shit, to see who made this call. And it ended up being connected to Don Russell. Don Russell could have easily stood on the grain and said, no, yeah, I did this because of, or this was a plan of R. Kelly and I. He didn't do that. He took that L on his own. Another reason that he couldn't do it, it was because, hell, they didn't have nothing pinging to an R. Kelly. R. Kelly was he locked up then? I'm not sure. But nobody can convince me that this man came out of nowhere to go land himself. What did he do? 18 months in prison, in jail? Really? No, it was his foolish mistakes. And as far as I'm concerned, I am starting to believe within myself that him and R. Kelly may have had some type of freaking discussions. He probably got talked down by it. We know he tried to get talked down by his mom, telling him that's foolish, that's dumb, don't do that. We know that. But did he listen? No, he didn't. Do I believe that he went out there and had himself tied in the loop up of the cars and this or that? And then, Cash Jones came out here and planted her seed on trying to pin those, pin Don Russell in bits and pieces of that. Like, that should have never happened, but it did. But I'm gonna roll this for a minute. Shout out to Texas Black Diamond for keeping this live up. And let me listen again to some of the information that he provided out here to the public. And pay attention to all of those people that were in her chat that came out to support, but you no longer see. You know why you don't see them? Because they got tired of the goddamn buffoonery out here in freaking YouTube. You couldn't learn nothing out here. You couldn't, sit around and enjoy commentary. So a lot of people left.
Need some church. You're live with Texas Black Diamond. What's your name and where you from and what's your one question?
Well, let's answer the lady about and I commend Don for telling people I mentioned it, that it was all about money. And I commend Don again for throwing up those lawsuits up there. Because when you look at these lawsuits and seeing what it was involved, now it's gonna be like a domino effect. See, what did that attorney, what was it? Right. It's all right. And that's what people can't seem to understand. And like I said earlier, who called in right before me, we are trained to think a certain way. It's common sense.
Now, at this time, I'm not sure whether if Keith was holding down the power of attorney, right? And one may ask you, well, how the hell did Don Russell get all of this information? Did he break into the places of R. Kelly have had this stuff stored? Or did he go out on his own with his mom also pulling all of this research up where he had pulled, these documents and he had access to getting these documents to show to the public of what was going on and who was doing it to R. Kelly. I could tell you for a fact, Bookham ain't showed y'all none of this shit of what he was pulling up. Why didn't Bookham show anybody about who and what was doing anything to R. Kelly as far as it, dealing with money or buying property or any of that? No, you know what he could do? Come out here and blame people, put people in place. This is my opinion. Under his assumptions of who was stealing from R. Kelly, and it wasn't half of the people that Don Russell was trying to show everybody that was actually in that inner circle. Isn't that crazy? I don't recall him doing it. I just don't.
We need to start waking them up. Now, hey, look, Don gotta go. We gotta start waking up, Don. But he was a leader in other areas such as being able to understand business and this, that, and the other. They can't ever let it go. Because they said it was a conspiracy. You had millions of dollars involved. Like I said earlier, if I was going to the bank, and we as black people, we got to learn to read. And like I said, if anyone had a really cared for our Kelly, everybody get a look on things, dog. You gotta learn something, man. And it's just simple as that. And I commend that over caller because he said, like I said,
here's Don Russell exposing some thirsty-handed people out here that was doing a lot of stuff financially unbeknownst, allegedly, to R. Kelly. To me, he appears to be positioning himself to get to the bottom of it so that he can explain to him what actually happened with all of his money. But you finna go. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on, hold on. Oh, where was I? I had to check, speak to him for a second. So that's what I got out of this. But then after all of this stuff happened, and they got Don Russell, he got himself out the way, whichever way you want to look at it, right? Then here come the great big old fight out here over money. And that crazy. They get down on him, but then now it's a big old fight out here about, this dollar for the king and the defense fund and the $1 million fund and the this fund and that fund. All that stuff happened. They ain't got him out the way. So, and he got himself out the way. So I'll, put the facts where the facts should be. But this what y'all mad about. This what y'all mad about. And because I play or I speak on what I believe his purpose was from the beginning, you sit over there, book him, and tell people that because I'm sitting over here defending, I'm telling you that he flip-flopped. But I'm also telling you that there had to be a reason, a motive, something beyond your scope to understand why he flip-flopped. Something happened between him and R. Kelly that I do believe that you and I and nobody else will probably ever know the truth too, other than Don Russell telling people over and off that Tia show that he put up X amount of dollars. He took a risk of doing this. He left this. He did this. I got this. I was doing this. And something just didn't fall through. Whether if he did come in with his motive of something like, well, okay, I'm going to position myself to help you do this and do this, but you know what? This is a great time for you to also, one hand wash the other. One hand wash the other. Should Don Russell been thinking in that manner? Probably not. What the hell can R. Kelly hand, how can he wash a hand when he's in jail? In order for Don Russell to be able to receive back what his other, he needed to give R. Kelly enough time to position himself to do so. Right now, you have to just put up and ride it out without anything coming back at you right away, because I got to go sit down for a minute. These people got my hands tied. Give me a minute. I do believe at some point when he got Keith positioned into this power of attorney, it just may have been a turnaround for Don Russell, but he didn't wait. So I'm not denying that Don Russell didn't flip-flop Bookham at all. But I'm still going to stand on with him flip-flopping. There had to be something that went down beyond my scope and your scope and everybody else's scope. But all I can say is that he has put in some work, more constructed work that I have ever seen you do out here on YouTube. Period. I've seen it. I ain't see you do nothing to the capacity of what this man had delivered out here earlier on his first, second, or third appearance. Not at all. I didn't see Don Russell chasing down a sprinter. vehicle. I didn't see Don Russell coming out here saying that he had a fight with you up in the gym. That was you. Totally distraction. R. Kelly don't tell his business to nobody. That's what you saying. But yet then you were the first one out here to run and drop that story on some stuff that happened around R. Kelly, which would mean that that was his business of what went on in that circle. But yet then you want to sit out here and think that somebody should have to trust or would trust what you are saying, when in fact you told some business that happened in the circle of where R. Kelly was that the public didn't even know. But you had to one up on Don Russell with that story. And like I say, imagine R. Kelly knowing, let's say, the second day that he heard that you were out here blurting out some stuff that probably wasn't true, because nobody else, not a single soul from inside that gym, verified the fact that, oh my God, you told Don, bring it on, and you'll whoop his ass, and blah, blah, blah. None of that was verified. It's just your word against his, because I think he sucked it up to be a man about it and not be out here in an altercation with you on some goofy ass shit about what happened in the gym. But what did prove to the people was that he up there in the gym. So you prove that. You proved that. You laid a whole story out. You wanted to do the timeline about when you think he showed up and how he got there, and the whole storyline about him and Cash Jones, the whole storyline about him and Jasmine. Ain't that her name? Was it a fact or was it not that he put, because he said it, he thought the girl looked at mighty young. That seemed to have offended you more so than her. You got to get up out of here. He said that he tried to get the girl that, hey, we got to get her some money. What did he do? He called Cash Jones some kind of way. So maybe he still had Cash Jones contact from everybody else, like you got contact with everybody else, or maybe Cash Jones had been contacting him because she was trying to go through Don Russell also to probably, get in touch with R. Kelly so that she can tell R. Kelly that, hey, listen, they trying to set you up. Maybe he was the go-to man. Maybe it was easy to get in contact with him than it was with R. Kelly at the time. I don't know, but see, that's just my theory of it. I don't know, but that's not how you to make it appear. You tell it to make it look nefarious against a person every single time. Every single time.
To think a certain way. It's not just no broad. It's about those millions that were stolen and who stole those millions. Because once that starts coming out, it's just like a domino effect. People are going to start falling just like leaves off of a tree.
And that it did.
That's what it's all about. And you can bet.
And that was a fact. Look, after Don Russell, had to go do what he got to do and whatever, y'all been falling like dominoes. You telling on him, he telling on you, that telling on this, and this telling on those. And the shit's been funny ever since. Ever since. All of y'all just going after each other. I pretty much believe that that's what he meant, that the dominoes would fall. That's my opinion. Because they sure were falling. Look at the chats. Look at the opinions of the people that are out here now. Half of them believe this. Oh, look what you had. Look what you did. The domino fell. You end up visiting Drunken Larry. Okay. You end up on the phone and doing all whatever, where it appears that you would have preferred to be closer to Angelo Clary than anybody else of the supporters of R. Kelly. But that was your prerogative. Do your thing.
The FBI has to do a thorough investigation of them, because I want to make sure y'all to a fact, man, that they're going to be affiliated with something close to R. Kelly. You can bet that. You can bet that. You have to do the homework. You feel me? It goes down having common sense. And that's what a lot of us just don't have. You hear me? Just like God said. Yeah. Hey, before satisfied his feet. I did that. I have. And
Now, I'm wondering if you guys see unique thoughts in that comment. They wanted the information that is needed to move forward because he's talking about them. Useless chicks has gotten old. Him talking about the useless chick has gotten old. But I truly do believe that it's something with the way that something caused Don Russell to fumble real bad. Not only was he fighting the information about Faith Rogers that he decided to put out, that I guess his mom sent him these pictures and he decided to use as one of his techniques, I guess, of defending R. Kelly. That got him in trouble. Then he over at the house over there, the Hessen house or what, blah, blah, blah. That got him in trouble because they pinged his phone. Rightfully so. You make a phone call and you do this and you do that, yeah, that's what they're going to do to find out who the goddamn person was. Then all of a sudden now he's got into it with putting out information about Angelo Clary. Once Angelo Clary, he got on Angelo Clary, that tied him into Drunken Larry. Then Drunken Larry started doing his research like he do because he's a research goon. Now here comes this information. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that somewhere Drunken Larry might have been the first one to drop the information that Don is getting indicted. Don is getting indicted. Bookham, you didn't know that. No. You got all of that information feeding off the back of Drunken Larry. You didn't even know. And boy, were you happy. You must have threw a 3-hour party on that. You were happy because you got him out the way. And he got himself out the way. So whatever the plan was or whatever it was, yeah, he got himself caught. I give you that. Oh, but you were part of the whole shenanigans. And a person, Don Russell, who came out here and started dropping every bit of information that was like interesting. Well, a lot of people out here wasn't aware that it was this person. This person was doing this. This person. Oh my God. You didn't share shit like that. You shared buffoonery. And that's exactly why I had a Pap and Bookham Shits and Giggles show all the way from 2019. I don't care how much you hide it. You lie so much. And that's what made me make that phone call to you with those ladies up on that channel, including Prima Donna. Oh, she just snickered a lot. You remember that, right? That phone call. That was the first time and the last time that I would have ever wanted to hear your voice in my ear through that phone. I've never contacted you no more. You just danced around. You didn't want me to get my questions out. So now that really turned me up on a Pap and Bookham show. Then, well, you don't want to act right and act like an adult. You said it's the call-in number. I had so many damn questions. I knew, but I was going to get 1, 2, or 3 out. But the only thing that you can sit up there and giggle and watch your stomach shake while the girls cheer you on. You was doing a damn thing. No, you didn't want me to hit on something where it would, 1, probably upset you, 2, have you lying and dancing around the questions that I asked, that I had prepared to ask you. After that, that was a done deal. What? I was only going to try it 1 time. No, you want to play with it, right? So let's put that in the docket of how this show started out, with me developing a strategic way of just asking myself some questions behind what the hell your content was about. You said, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to apply it back, and then I'm going to answer it and laugh at it.
It ain't okay. But the thing of it is, like I said, I keep reiterating, it's all money. Follow the money trail. Then you're gonna find out different people that was taking his money. Those two Jane Does. Now you heard it here first. I will bet you $1 to the fact man. Those two Jane Does are affiliated with someone close to R. Kelly. Bottom line. Now I'll let someone else call it.
All right, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I want to try to do, you guys, is one question. You
Again,
say your
shout
name, where
out
you from,
to Texas
one
Black
question, and
Diamond
then I'm gonna hang up
for
the
leaving
phone.
this live up, and
And
this is her live. Now,
okay,
keep in mind, let's not forget this fact though, Book. Every time Texas Black Diamond was dropping some information, she had a crowd over there. I mean, they were flocking in. Guess who's coming? Bookham. Every freaking time. You want to knock her down about Angelo Clary. You want to knock her down for having Don Russell on there. You wanted to knock her down for whatever you think was an interference, to where you went as far as attempting or whatever pulling information of putting out some crap on this lady. Also, that you can put that scare tactic on her that had absolutely nothing to do with R. Kelly's case, and prima donna acts or mentions interference. She was putting that work in. Amen in the chat. I don't know if y'all remember going up there. She was putting it in very emotionally. I met Texas Black Diamond. Texas Black Diamond also walked for Chicago, for R. Kelly in Chicago. She also went to New York. You think she was you, Booker, then you would say she was absolutely janky. But I could tell you about her being down there. She didn't see and come across nothing janky. She down there doing her own thing, her thing over there with her post corner and her family. Posted up, screaming to the top of her lungs. Maybe you didn't catch a video of that. But I did. I just don't show it. But this woman was over here working her butt off, and Bookham became her distractor. Period. There was nobody else out here coming at her as hard as you did, because you did not agree with her contact, with the information that she was providing. Because those and the things that she was saying would clearly be going against the shit that you were putting out. And anybody that you felt that sounds like it's remotely against what you were putting out, or if it was better than what you were putting out, or if it was more information that was gathered to be put out, you come a stampeding. And you know that ain't a lie. Now, you'll probably come back and say, well, she did this and she did that and she did this. No, she started fighting you back. She started telling you that, no, you weren't finna punk her nowhere. And the most that you could have done was went to try to find something all in this girl's personal life to talk about who the hell slept with who. And you sound like you were pathetic. That's how you weaponized yourself against Texas Black Diamond. That was sickening. But your girl, your sister, don't believe that you played in any interference with R. Kelly's case, as far as the public is sitting out here trying to receive accuracy listening to the documents. Here you come. Nobody could learn it. Nobody can hear it, prima donna, because he was always interfering in something, distracting the people who wanted to have a voice, sharing it with the public. You just couldn't do it. Not long as he was around. Now, why would Bookham be so interested in interfering and knocking down information that was being put out by genuine people who were trying to pull and put that information out? Why? Why? It's a good question. Maybe you can find an answer to. Bookham is going to tell you that everybody that was out here doing it was against an R. Kelly. That's the only answer that he can produce.
Let me put this person on hold. Caller, can you hold for a second, please?
Yeah, it was 18 lawsuits. This lady here, Susan Logan. I don't know if I can see that. Susan Logan represented the other side. Susan Logan went to school with Gerald McDavid. They went to the state alma mater and they got.
Hope.
I don't even believe that you were able to tie Daryl McDavid in there until after you found out that there were 18 lawsuits produced to so-and-so with Susan Logan. With Daryl McDavid. You probably wouldn't have never called out how you felt about, but wait a minute, either this will either be a conflict of interest. Well, wait a minute, how is it that R. Kelly got a Daryl McDavid doing this when Daryl McDavid, number one, also had a lawsuit against him, but yet then was behind all of this other stuff being settled with all of these freaking alleged women on this that Don has that he came across. Why you didn't have the information first? Huh? Why you didn't have the information first? Why, how did he beat you out here with all that information? You was waiting to suck it all up in you, write it all down, record it all, so that you can come back and do your whole goddamn jump rope and hula hoop around it, change the story up so that it can fit to make it seem like that you were actually the man. I have to say Don Russell was the man shit at the very beginning, because you wasn't doing half of the shit that this man came to put out. You sitting back there with your hands folded up over there, did your little 5 or 6 phases, shows on phases. And then because that didn't come out right, and this didn't do this, now phases end up being part of the goddamn conspiracy theory. It is what it is. If it did not fall your way, all because phases started to be like, wait a minute, there's something ain't right about Data's story. It just finally clicked, I believe, after the 3rd episode. Something just didn't click. You pissed about that. Now I'm gonna throw Phases up in here, and Phases been down and she's been over there with the Rogers, and she did Phases this and Phases that and Phases that. It didn't take everything off of you. You still ain't brought no proof on it. You talked about it, but where's the proof? You ain't bring no proof on that. You ain't get no recordings or nothing, because I know all I got in my goddamn memoir is you on here telling your whole goddamn, I don't know, what's that boy name? Jimmy Dean or the other Minty story. It's identical of that boy. Now how to tell me 2 people under R. Kelly Minties got the same damn identical story? I mean, wasn't nothing different. Boy, bye.
Open message, please.
There were several corporations like this one RK Enterprises that was set up.
Oh, all the
RK
time
Enterprises
to
was
what?
set up out of Florida. You see that?
Uh-huh.
Bob lived in Illinois. This is, what does it say? RK Enterprise, Independent Worldwide. That's one of the corporations they set up to funnel money. Why would he set up a corporation in Florida here in Chicago? Well, he had two of these. It was Chicago-based one, it was a Florida-based one. And then
African gene. Thank you, boo.
You have royalty distribution contracts from Universal Music Group and all of the different labels that ASCAP, BMI, and all of that kind of stuff. That's what these are. These are royalty.
Jimmy Dean.
Leave
me alone, Jen.
This is all R. Kelly.
It rhymes.
This ain't no bullshit. This is really his stuff.
He's answering the question that's online, so I'll put you on in a minute, okay?
Right here. This is all the research. This is all of this stuff. You see that? Zama Enterprises. All this law. So all this research we did to find this money, we were stealing this money. And that's what people are coming out against me because I know they know the secret. I know that they were stealing.
Because I can see how some discrepancies are made about what I'm about to say. There is a Madden TX 3932. It's stating that Prima Donna had already told us a lot of what Don is saying. See, so you'll have a person like that that'll come over here, and now it would make it appear that, okay, well, she's the first one that dropped the information. But that's not fair. Information first, right? So just that alone is where some discrepancies can be had and arguments can be kicked off, right? It doesn't even matter. What should matter, or what probably should have been said, was, wow, okay, I also learned this over from Prima Donna, but to hear, this same information coming out, it's crazy. Now, with that being said, now that I think about saying that, oh, well, Prima Donna dropped this and she let loose, some information. Now, mind you, he ain't said shit about Bookham drop shit. He said Prima Donna. Bookham ain't dropped shit. Bookham, I'm trying to see if I'm going to come across somebody saying some shit that you done did, other than all the stuff you sitting over there saying that you done did, but we can't be verified to helping R. Kelly, other than a freaking walk or protest for him. You kept it to the minimum too. That's it. That's all. And that's not up for debate. But Prima Donna's reading it when she feels that, if she feels that she was reading it and she supports allegedly R. Kelly. And then over here, you got Don Russell believing it. So what, we not supposed to believe that Don Russell wasn't supporting R. Kelly based on the same information that was being dropped out here? Let that sink in. Because Prima Donna was reading it. Ain't nothing faulty about her. She a stand-up person. I ain't crooked. I ain't this. I ain't that. Okay, that's how some people may look at it. And that's fine. And I'm not saying that she's crooked or this or did that or did any of that. But I'm just saying, how come the same goddamn respect wasn't acknowledged when Don Russell was dropping it up before he got himself intertwined into that other situation? Why he wasn't getting that same freaking respect? I'm just saying, make it make sense. How could she be right, or how could she be acknowledged for it, or how can she be notarized as one of R. Kelly's supporters, and both of them reading and dropping the same information? Something is definitely not right with that picture. It's just not right. Up until Don Russell had a motive or a reason to flip-flop on R. Kelly. This don't make sense. So if Prima Donna ended up with this paperwork, and she was dropping all of this information pertaining to this one name out here, right? Then how the hell Don Russell get it? They both got the same search engine. Or I'm gonna leave that question right there and just period on it. Now, Booker, when we get done, when I have time to come back, see, because I'm not gonna pull the paperwork. I'm gonna give a shout out to the channels. I'm gonna even probably email this one here, A View from Tracy Point, so that we can play exactly what her opinions are when it came to Don Russell and that Michael boy with the burning the car and the Cash Jones. Because she's definitely had an opinion on it. And she definitely follows a whole lot of cases. And she definitely, I believe, she shames it. She hates the fact that Don Russell got himself caught up in all. Maybe you haven't seen it. Then after that, Prima Donna, I'm going to go through A View from Tracy Point, and I'm going to play so that you'll know exactly probably what you need to be arguing on legal grounds to be able to have a case reopened on new evidence. We're going to play Jennifer Bonjing's Supreme Argument. She got the whole freaking argument over there. I heard that's what I was cracking up. He was trying to say somebody was I don't know, somebody killed R. Kelly. But listen, let's roll, y'all, because I don't want to be here long, but if I'm going to be here as long as I can, because I can get up. I don't care what time it is. I get up. I make it do what it do.
Some of them I know all that stuff, so I can tell y'all these names because on these names, there's names like Linda Miss, Daryl McDavid, and all these folks. And Rob is like, I never got a royalty in my life. Well, why did he? Where was your money going? Because right here it says Zama paid out $22 million in 1 year in royalty disbursements. You didn't get any of that?
Yeah, Booker. Where was his money going? And let you tell it, everybody out here was trying to steal it. But he just said Linda Mitch and 2-3 more other names that didn't ring no bell about people out here. And if he's reading this, and Prima Donna's done read the same thing, I'm still trying to understand how is it that everybody's out here trying to do what? Maybe y'all was throwing some goddamn fluky. I don't know, to get y'all, everybody all aroused up and everything, to start blaming on everybody to see if maybe somebody, maybe all of these people that came out here just been running a whole goddamn hoax game. And maybe that's what happened. Just out here just throwing everything to try to see what everybody gonna run with. I'm just saying, though, Shannon. It's just weird, right?
No. Okay, now. So you don't think that people want to discredit me, don't want me talking to lawyers? This kind of information, I got tons of these. I got all of that. Rob's copyrights on all of the songs. These are all the songs that the man owns. Hold on.
Now, I gotta ask you, Book. Where is Keith? Where's the power of attorney? Huh? He literally just put up some information that caused a Sharon Winbush out here screaming, you screaming, and some others. Ow! That's the intellectual property. He got the signed book with R. Kelly freaking writing blah, blah, blah. And y'all mean to tell me that he's been able to get away with all of this shit? With the power of attorney just sitting there, what, twiddling his thumbs? You mean to tell me that ain't no knock? Nobody's the knock on Don Russell's door, but you sit out here to tell us that Homeland Security done been to your house. Nobody, not even you. You mean to tell me that you don't have, or you didn't have, that actual official power of authority to start no investigation on Don Russell for your pops? for your something like a pops? Boy, hold up. Wait a minute. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. The something like a pops wasn't positioned in an official authority figure to say, wait a minute now, because you done ran your ass down there to that courthouse countless of times. However, all of the stuff that you went to go file on was YouTube bullcrap. But this man over here, who you are now claiming that has gotten away with the intellect property over to California. Hold on, prima donna, because I heard what you said. Don't think that you weren't going to get squozzed up in this commentary just for a minute. It's just a hot second. It ain't about you tonight. But we going to get to you tonight. Let me write note to myself. Kaleidoscope said, Callie, I'm summarizing, property, I said that you should go get it. That's what I said. I remember what I said. But I'm just saying, somebody explain it to me. All of this in and out of these goddamn court houses and police stations, and not once did he file no formal complaint or anything for Don Russell to be investigated on R. Kelly's intellectual property. Everything else was his business, pertaining to all the shit show fights that he done started that got us all distracted and engaged and ate so much damn popcorn about. Don Russell drove off with shit. Nobody went after him. You can't sit out here and tell me that you know R. Kelly and that you are some type of ain't gonna happen. All of these non-officials, hot-mouthed people sat there and whistled while they twerk on fucking camera. And Don Russell has gotten away with the intellectual property. The nutritionist didn't file anything. His brothers didn't file anything to have Don appear in court to return everything it is that he has taken. Even Greenberg. Greenberg was the attorney at the time, and the most that he said out here was, bring the property back vocally to the public. He didn't go down and file no complaint or whatever on behalf of his client that Don Russell has taken property without an R. Kelly's consent, which would result into theft. If anything, it's got to be a document somewhere, prima donna, where it will mention that Don Russell is under a stiff investigation for theft of R. Kelly's property. Nobody. Y'all got to be kidding me. You know what, Bookham? That's very disappointing that someone will go on national TV to be highlighted as something like a pops to me, but yet then don't have the muscle, the authority, the kinship, the attorney powerness to go after your pops. Shit, that's got to be a messed up feeling. Makes you wonder how close you really are, doesn't it, Booker? I'm just saying. But listen here, prima donna, I was just screwing around, having some fun. And you took what I said and went and bunched your panties up furthermore up in the crevice of your ass. Just because I said, well, why don't you get up and go to California to get the intellectual property back? Did you really honestly think and believe that shit? That I meant that? Did you really? I know you could have not assumed that I really meant that. That was part of the shits and giggles. Do you know that I know and you know that I know that you are not going to go and get no R. Kelly property back from California? Hell, you didn't even make it to one goddamn walk. You said that, so why would I even expect for you to get involved and go do anything? That shit just sounded good to say for a minute. y'all are too high tensed out here. Calm down. Jesus.
This should have been done more organized, but hell, this is the spur of the moment when y'all testing me. All of this man's copyrights, right? All information. We got everything. And like I said, this is the data that I'm talking about. His attorneys don't want access to. Why the fuck is that?
Now, why is he sitting there holding a goddamn encyclopedia of R. Kelly's music that has been noted, documented as being copywritten? I mean, that really ain't shit. There ain't nothing but big old, but he's just got a library of it. This one. Yeah. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe if you go back and rewind that movie, because I don't know. That video where R. Kelly was getting put up out that damn studio, there was a whole man out there loading some shit up in the briefcase. But a couple of pulley briefcases. Well, who was that guy? I don't know. Maybe you could tell us. Well, where did he take that stuff? Seems like it's one of those documents, briefcase things that you pull where you put all the paperwork and stuff up in there.
Why don't they want access to any of this stuff if it shows where the money went, who was stealing it, which is the same names of the people that's turning in this evidence against them? Why don't they want access to any of that stuff? Why don't they want to know Susan Logan and all these are contracts that Rob.
He was answering the lady about the lawsuits. We're gonna get you in just a second when he finished. We have a caller. This is thank you for coming on live with Texas Black Diamond. What is your question and where you from?
Hi, this is Hollywood X, and I want to say this is a great commentary. First of all, I know me and Dodge have had our little bumping heads. Whenever mainly me.
She didn't go over there to be sincere. Nope.
I see a lot of people in the chat saying they want me to communicate with him. I don't have a problem with Don. So shout out to Mac Don because he's the one that's really pushing me to call in, and I'm here now. So Don, what I would like to suggest is that you have all this information.
Listen to what? Do y'all remember this part? What was Don's response before I press play? I want to know if y'all remember this when Hollywood tried to boss up, inquiring about the information that Don has in his custody. Just put a 1 if you remember what his response was to Hollywood. Man, I was on the floor dying. I was like, damn. Yeah. So y'all don't remember. Okay, well, let's move on. I ain't gonna ask y'all to keep participating, but let's go.
It seems to be very helpful. And since I was targeted and threatened by the Clary and his associate, Larry Roman, I personally reached out to the assistant district attorney just yesterday. She actually returned my phone call. She merged me into the call.
Let's pause that there, Book, because this your girl. Hollywood. You see how she felt it with you. And then she swapped her words. Yeah. She got in the bed with you. Then all of a sudden, she felt a little differently. But let me let you hear what she said at first. Let's get this on the record. Let's talk about it. She says, let me make sure I go back.
I never got around.
Okay, I went back too far.
Where was your money going? Because right here it says I'm
gonna leave it there.
$2 million in 1 year in royalty disbursements. You didn't get any of that? No. Okay, now, so you don't think that people want to discredit me, don't want me talking to lawyers and all that, when I know this kind of information? I got.
Oh, that's right, Beauty. I forgot. I got to bring you here and talk about it.
Money, his copyrights and all.
You're right.
I got all of that. Rob's copyrights on all of his songs. These are all the songs that the man owns. This should have been done more organized. But
I can make it bigger, but I want the comments. I want y'all to zoom in on some of those comments. Where are all those people at?
We got everything, like I said.
300 and some people she had over there allegedly supporting R. Kelly. Gone.
This shows where the money went, who was stealing it, which is the same names of the people that's turning in this evidence against them. Why don't they want access to any of that stuff? Why don't they want to know Susan Logan and these are contracts that Rob.
He was answering the lady about the lawsuits. We're gonna get you in just a second when he finished. We have a caller. This is thank you for coming on. Texas Black Diamond. What is your question?
A little bounced up, pop. I'm bossed up in there.
He's always thinking.
Did you catch that book before she got hold over there with you? She thought that there was some great commentary. Great information, Don Russell. You're dropping out here. Wow. Holy smokes. Now, I don't know if that was cap or not. Cap or not? Was she capping or not? I don't know. Seemed to me that it was kind of a cap because right after all of that salute, good job, she came back and she wanted something. Sound like entitlement to some possession. Didn't work though. Didn't work.
Consistent. So what I just want to add is because I see a lot of people in the chat saying they want me to communicate with him. I don't have a problem with Don. So shout out to Mac Don because he's the one that's really pushing me to call in, and I'm here now. So Don, what I would like to suggest is that you have all this information that it seems to be very helpful. And since I was targeted and threatened by the Clary and his associate, Larry Roman, I personally reached out to the assistant district attorney just yesterday. She actually returned my phone call. She merged me into the call with the Homeland Security investigator who was handling Rob's case. So what I would like to say is, if you don't mind, we can convert off.
Did she say that she was merged into with the Homeland Security that was doing Rob's case? Huh? Did y'all hear that? She was merged into conversation to speak amongst the people that goes by the name of Homeland Security. I don't know maybe if she didn't think that Don Russell caught that or not, but I sure in the hell caught it. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. Just run that back a titch. Boy, that shit funny there. Let's run that back. Oh, skirt, rewind. What you say, Hollywood?
What that you have all this information that it seems to be very helpful. And since I was targeted and threatened by the Clary and his associate, Larry Roman. I personally reached out to the assistant district attorney just yesterday. She actually returned my phone call.
Okay.
She merged me into the call with the Homeland Security investigator who was handling Rob's case. So
What? Now, was she getting merged into with Homeland Security to do some reporting on Angelo Clary now? Because that's what she said. I was getting into it, I had them harassing me and so. So shit didn't make no sense at all. What the hell does Angelo Clary and them harassing Hollywood had to do with anything of her needing to get possession of what Don Russell has to give or to inform Homeland Security about anything between Angela? What are you gonna do with this? How what? It just made no. What is it that she thinks that she gonna do differently if this paperwork needed to get to a Homeland Security that Don Russell couldn't do on his own? Do you think Don Russell wanted this stuff to be in the hands of a Homeland Security? Isn't Homeland Security the people that came and investigated Booker? I'm just saying, who all works up under the Homeland Security that was after Mr. Kelly? I'm just saying. I don't know the names. No, seriously, I don't know the names.
what I would like to say is, if you mind, we can convert off air. You can give me this information and I can forward it over to the investigators so that's where they can have this information and do their diligence, since the attorneys are not
Look
willing
at
to
Don,
communicate.
look at her. I mean, listen to her.
Hold on, listen. You are a blogger. You have not been involved with this case in no capacity. I don't know who you are.
Hollywood next, she
I don't know who she is. She can't come in. And she want me to turn over what I have to her. That's absolutely asking. Don't ask me like that. That's an insult. Are you serious? Come on, Hollywood Next. Don't come at me like that. I can take this to the feds myself. Why do I need
Thank
you to do it?
you. Thank you. He could have easily taken it himself. So why is it that he would need to be transparent, pass along information to someone else with the risk of it probably getting edited, lost, or I don't know, coffee spilled on it? I don't know. I'm just saying. Boy, that shit had me cracking up. And you know why? That's because so many people were standing behind him and behind her, and they put all of their eggs in one basket, and Hollywood Next was doing the damn thing, doing the damn thing. So, I mean, she convinced the people she was doing the work, but there was no way, I guess that, you should be asking for,
Why would I get decided against him? What do you make sense? We're not investigating for him, they're against him. Why would I give this to you?
No, she was talking about somebody threatening you guys to keep you guys from doing what you're doing.
To the same people.
What did he say? You're asking for information to give to you, to the people that is against him, to the people that is trying to take him down. That's exactly what he said. But see, Texas Black Diamond a little confused herself, because the way that Hollywood threw that information in there about how Angelo Clary and them were harassing her. That's what Texas Black Diamond is stuck at, right? But Don didn't get stuck there. He heard it, but that's not where he got stuck at, because the most important part of him listening, based on what she was saying, is when she mentioned Homeland Security. That was a bingo. That was a light bulb right there. What? I'm sorry, Texas Black Diamond guy, a little lost with it. But the point that I'm trying to make to you guys is This is exactly how Bookham delivers his messages, his speaking, his tone, this is him. If you don't pay close attention to what he is saying, that boy would have all kind of Skip Tracing and this and that and Jimmy Dean and Patti LaBelle thrown up in the shit. You're gonna be wondering, oh yeah, it sounds good, but should it be there? What? Texas Black Diamond clearly got stuck on the fact that because Hollywood Next came out to say that, well, these certain people are harassing me. But guess what? I am also in line with the district attorney who merged me in. I don't even know how those two go together. The district attorney merged you in to Homeland Security. Now, I'm going to take it a step further. If she was on the phone, or if she's on the phone and she's, talking to the whole district attorney thing, the district attorney probably got information that they good, that from our county, and then she getting in front of the district attorney, and then she passing it on over there to Homeland Security. Even though Homeland Security don't need her to obtain whatever information it is that they need, probably from the district attorney. Listen, y'all, when I tell you this whole thing, this shit show fell apart. Oh boy, man, I used to be sitting back here rolling, man. I'm like, this cannot be. This cannot be happening. All of this over, the celebrity, R. Kelly. Everybody's supposed to involve themselves from all kind of freaking angles and mix this chicken noodle dumpling soup stuff up.
People who have charges on him, they're not looking to help. They're looking to, so I give them all the stuff that we need to get them out. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Because I see your facial expression, and I'm not trying to offend you because I know me and you have our differences of opinions and things like that. But I'm just saying you're presenting a lot of information, and it seems like if you can't say, I see people in the chat talking about we take this up to the mainstream media, the white taking the TMC and so on and so forth. I don't know what you are to. You are only coming on and off at different times, so we're just. You are doing your thing. So all I'm saying is, what can we do to collectively get this man, to whoever needs this information, that can get him information? What can we do? But my question is,
he needs a good legal team. That's what he needs. He needs one that cares, because me and you are collectively, we are soldiers marching in the same direction. We all want to see him free, but for some reason, it's not reaching his legal team. Why haven't I'm showing y'all because a lot of all what information you got, I got the information. It's right here. So why isn't his legal team reaching out to me to say, Don, let's sit down and talk about this stuff you've got? Rob told them to get it from me. Why won't they do it? It's pretty apparent that they work.
Now, is that true or not, Bookham? Is that true or not? I don't know it to be true, but that's what he said. He says that Rob told the legal team to get the things that you need from Donnell Russell. And for him to say something like that, that tells me that R. Kelly had to be aware what Don Russell had. Give me a second. It'll come to me a little bit more clear now that I'm thinking about it. I remember when Greenberg came on, I'm not sure if it was a main media channel or could have been that guy that does that court TV information, where he stated something about Don Russell and he has this, and I'm not going to get anything, that he the one tried to tell, I guess, R. Kelly, fire me and blah, blah, blah. And guess what happened? Greenberg end up withdrawing himself or removing himself from counselor any damn way. Wonder why. He said it was because of interference or so between the counselors. Wonder why. You mean to tell me that all of these hiring of all of these attorneys and they could not get onto one accord for R. Kelly? But see, that's where, you know, you have Prima Donna and a few other people out here, you know, delivering their content about ineffective counselors. They've been crashed. They crashed before they even started because they all came with some type of freaking motive. And that is obvious because they never all got on the same one accord at all. So was it about the... I don't know. Maybe so.
With the other side to me, because I'm showing y'all that I have tons of research and to show where the money came from, where it went. Why don't they want to know that? So until there's a legal team in place that I think really cares about defending this man and adequately coming out, adjudicating his case, I'm not giving this to anybody. This could be all we have to get this man out. If Tom Musgrove asks me for it, I'll give it to him. If Jeff asks me for it, I'll give it to him. But right now, to date, we stopped Greenberg countless amount of times. Rob told Greenberg to work with me, and guess what? He ain't reached out to me for no reason. So he obviously working for the other side. Certain promotions that he's filed in this case, none.
So do you think, though, Bookham, if Greenberg would have just paused for a moment to work with Don Russell, that things probably wouldn't have played out the way that they did? That's possible. But I was reading Talking Out Loud with Keish comment that TBD posted up. Why hasn't he went to the main street media to voice this? Or even TMZ, as he suggested to Tim Savage? Why only the small YouTube platforms? Back then, seems like it was a tough question to answer. But now when you look at it, it doesn't seem as tough anymore. And it's, to me, the main street media wasn't going to touch on anything that would have showed clearance to R. Kelly. It was going to be impossible for him to do. Nobody was taking any good stories, anything that would weigh in the favor of R. Kelly, especially after, you know, what was it, what was those organizations that got together? Not the him too, me too, time's up. All this stuff started dropping. How? Where? Look at how many articles that was printing in the newspaper that was written so adversity on R. Kelly's story. Where? Really? They were going to make nothing but mockery of it.
So no, I'm not turning this over to him when it's all this man that just the last check. Come on, to be really sure. And who I'll get this to is gonna make sure that it falls in the wrong right hand. Y'all doing, man?
Any type of
That's the one we need. We need him.
Because some folks have emailed me some information and I'm in direct contact with these people. So all I'm saying is if there's anything that we can do, I know once again, we don't see eye to eye. I mean, maybe I do the thing for you because I've had my differences of opinion. And I know, you know, that is the past, but right what information or how I can get you in communication with the people that I'm talking to, like Farrakhan and some of the people from the NAACP, to put you
Hold on.
and see what y'all can put together.
Listen, that's assuming that I haven't already spoken with those folks, and I have spoken with a lot of them. I let you speak. Let me just respond. Farrakhan's son-in-law is like very close to me. We've already spoken about several things, and what I'm doing is based on the advice that I've been given from all of the high officials that I rub shoulders with, and I'm sure that some high individuals. Rob put me in a certain position because he knows who I am. He did not say, Don, communicate and give this information to any blogger or anything like that, which is why it's still right here and not blasted all over the internet. That's just proof that it does exist. And you guys are going to smoke Greenberg out and tell him either retire or come around, sit down, and let's go over this information. That's the only person that is going to. I'm not going to have the whole information that can save this man all around the public domain talking to folks. I'm strategic enough. I'm damn smart, to be frank, almost a genius. So I strategize, and I have a team of strategists that sit down and work with me, and we talk through these things as well. And they're scholars. They actually tell me what to do. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong damn room. That's how I feel about it. So frankly, I understand what you're saying, but you jumped on too many sides of the fence for me to trust any of you. I mean, if you're gonna go out there and speak on his behalf and mobilize his ground troops and supporters, then that's fine. But don't think that I'm gonna step down, and I've already attempted to do this in the past, and say, okay, cool, I'm gonna give y'all this. For what? It's not gonna help him letting the world see what I have in these boxes. It only helps the defendant formulate a proper defense. So if you have information, send it to who you feel is necessary.
Okay,
that person. I mean, I don't believe that he's that person.
Right.
But
on the platform. What you gonna say? Talking loud with Tisha. No, hold up, just 1 second. I'm trying to.
No, go ahead. I'm listening to. Go ahead.
I'm trying to see what she means. Small platforms. He's trying to reach out to all the social media pages. Even if it's free. Even if
that's a small platform, that's Rolling Stone. The information that went to PMZ, I just tell them not to put my name in it. I talk to the big guys too.
Right. Okay. So let me just say this in conclusion. All this going back and forth and expressing yourself on all these different platforms, if R. Kelly doesn't do something about his legal team, it's something we personally can do. He has to be the one to tell his legal team if they're not respecting about it if they're not respecting their own client wishes. He is responsible to hire and fire and have them communicate with whoever he wants them to communicate with. So if that's not happening, then I'm not sure why it's not happening, but that's something that R. Kelly personally is going to have to take up with his own legal team. And I'm going on that note, you guys. Thank you. And y'all hit that like button for Texas.
Thank you. And thank you for what you're doing too, Hollywood. And you know what I really get sick of, because I try to work with try to reach out to work with these supposed to be supporters and bloggers of Robert, but they get on here and they try to throw a little freaking shade. And I'm gonna tell you something, I pray before I get on here so I won't lose my freaking cool, and I try to keep the peace in this MF with some of these bloggers that try to throw shades. I already know whose side you're on anyway, for one. But for me, I don't have time for the kindergarten stuff. I've been out off the playground in the sandbox. Okay, I got on my grown woman panties. So all of that shade that y'all throwing and stuff like that, because y'all riding for a certain person, don't come on here with that shit on my damn page and my address, because I am working on one thing, and we all should be working on. That's the reason why shit can't go smooth and we can't get along. We can't do shit because of the damn shade. I see the shade. I'm not no dumb MF. Believe that. I ignore it. Okay, and I give everybody their props that's trying to do things for Robert. And I'm not that shady person. So don't come on here and try to throw shade in my shit. Take that shit to your friend's address. Take it to his damn address. Don't come here and try to pinch my nerve. I said I was gonna be the referee. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I'm letting you know now. Don't come on to my damn address. I respect everybody's address. I don't come on there throwing shade. Okay, if this man on here trying to help Robert, God damn it, and you say you a supporter for Robert, damn it, let him do that. I don't give a fuck how the next person feel about this man. He's in my house. He's in my house. He's a guest in my house. Respect that. So don't throw that shade to my why he coming on a little platform. I don't give a fuck. It's 4 people following me. Them 4 people can spread the word. I'm not about all that.
And not only that, but he can go wherever he chooses to go. I mean, if he wants to express himself, you gave him the opportunity to do that, then that's you guys' prerogative. Nobody's gonna get mad at Don because Dana doesn't like Don and Dana want to throw shade at him. I feel like when people throw shade at him, the way that they have been doing that just goes to show that he has some truth because they do it to myself and they do it to others as well. And I know I've been doing some.
Well, damn, Booker. Even Hollywood Next says that you started throwing shade over there at her. You started throwing the shade over at Don Russell. Geez, your list is mighty long, bro. And you wonder why I had a shits and giggles. Now, Prima Donna don't care. She ain't trying to hear none of this stuff. She don't believe, and and it is gonna be what it is with her. You gonna always be brethren. But what I'm saying is, you tend to have a resume your damn self. But that's your girl Hollywood, who now will pop in your chat here and there and all of that. But back then, she mentioned how, yeah, you just gonna sit over there. We need to ignore, Dana throwing all that shade at Don Russell.
Diligent research. I may not have no direct contact of the bottom of my heart because God is the one who's going to be to get in this fight and to do what I can to bring my strong voice and do what I can to research and bring factual information to the platform. So all this other big back and forth with people that want to have drama with each other, that's totally irrelevant. I'm more focused on getting R. Kelly vindicated and doing my diligence. You're doing yours, doing his, and everybody may be independent or individually, but like I said, collectively, it'll come together. Ride your own wave. As I always tell people, ride your own wave. If you ride your wave the right way, we'll all end up at the same place. And get vindicated of all these fake ass charges. So once again, Texas Diamond, God bless you. Don, keep up the good work. Your diligence is appreciated. No matter the stones that people throw at you, they point fingers at you, they point them at me, they say I'm this, they say you're that. Who cares? Just continue to fight this fight regardless because we're already
on a second, Booker. Not to take it back into the past and rotate over here on my little Barbie big wheel, but something's telling me to do so. Because sometimes I ain't shit. Oh, we got a waffle. Oh, girl, you give me a cookie. You give me a cookie. Listen, I forgot how you and Hollywood went at it. I'm trying to remember if it was about Angelo Clary. I'm not sure though, but somehow I feel like you went at her and it had something to do with a mixture of Angelo Clary in the middle of it. I don't know why I feel that that's what it was about. Because I don't think that did you get into the middle of it when Hollywood was going up against Drunken Larry and some official people got called into his home, and then did you get mad and come out to defend Drunken Larry? I'm not sure. All I know is that you played a card in that too. Yeah, you did. I probably did a live on it. It might be on this channel that I'm on, somewhere way, 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 way back in my past.
So at the end of the day, rather we communicate together or not, the bottom line is we're fighting for R. Kelly. We want that man out the situation, and that's just all I got to say. God bless you all and continue doing what y'all do, and let's get R. Kelly vindicated.
Thank you. I'm going to say this because, and I didn't want to lose my cool, but what I'm saying here you can answer your question, and I ain't even about me. I let it be the people that want to talk to Don. I said I'm gonna let you guys call in and ask him the question. I'm gonna just sit to the side, but don't throw shades. And I'm gonna put it like this: we are going against some high powerful people right now. And pennies, you pick them pennies up, and you keep picking those pennies up, they become dollars. Okay, it doesn't matter. This is what he's doing. He's gonna come. He's doing going on different platforms to speak about it. And if this is the way he can do it, that's the way he can do it. I was on the phone when this man was on trying to give information to TMZ. Do y'all not see the mainstream media don't want no good shit and good information for Robert? We fight against high power people, and these literally we trying to get together as a bunch. You're live with Texas Black Diamond. What's your name? Where you from? And what's your question? Black Diamond, you're live. Texas Black Diamond, you're live. Texas Black Diamond, you are live. Well, I guess not. No, because I don't have time for this today. I apologize, people.
Yes, she did. Tawana, I seen it all. Yes, she did. Good thing he
Texas
didn't
Black
get no
Diamond, you're live. What's your
information.
name? Where you from? And what's your question? Texas Black Diamond, you're live. Repeat that, sir.
This is Curtis from Camden.
Okay. Go ahead, Curtis. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing so fine. I didn't know my phone was on or anything like that. Thank you very much. Man, there's been so much drama and whatever. I'm glad I get the call. I want to ask Don Russell. You made a point about Susan Logan and Daryl McDade, and that intrigues me a little bit because that's a connection.
Me too. I absolutely agree with that. Because it sucks. You want to kind of have good intentions on bringing out and sharing things and hearing people opinions, but you just can't. I'm with you on that. I think that if he had this intent to do whatever, then he should have just aligned himself with those people or whatever to go on and do whatever. However, I also understand the part about coming out because you're hearing so many people saying that they support, and then you're hearing where R. Kelly don't have as much money that he is going to need place the good support system in play for him. So it's like, okay, I got to come out here. We got to get people engaged. We got to get this. So this is why, Bookham goes ham on this whole $1 million kind of thing, right? That you seen Don Russell sit over there with Trent on, right? It's a possibility that was good intent for them to try to raise that much money to hire. I forget the attorney name. It was a specific attorney that Don Russell had in mind with some other people, right? But it was going to be pricey. And sure enough, Bookham come along, start throwing goddamn mayonnaise at that, and they was going to do this and I understand Bookham's intent on doing it because he didn't like the fact that, they put the defense fund under fire. So he had to find some way to fire back at them. And he didn't care whether if it was true or not. They had them pissed, tore down something that he wanted to have his name gold stamped on. Can you imagine that? Bookham is now building something and doing something that would probably make R. Kelly, his goddaddy, proud of him. And they came and took it away from him. What do we want him to do? Him was hurt. Him feelings was hurt. Like really hurt. Then Texas Black Diamond, you know, she got the fire back. TBD was firing back. Well, let me call and investigate this stuff. She over there calling Doug, Anton, Greenberg, the auntie, the niece, and the nephew. Bookham got whiffed of, oh my God, they were getting these calls from TBD because I'm pretty sure that Doug Anton was telling him and blah, blah, blah. Guess what Bookham did? Saddled up the horse and rawhide right on back over here and started attacking TBD. That's just the way I saw it, you know. You said, damn if he did and damn if he didn't. Don't say they were against them. Yeah, they were against Don. They were. But like I say, Don still end up doing, you know, some flip stuff that cost him, you know, some time.
As far as the Chicago with minor one, we know who minor one is. What is his opinion on he's being sent these things to steal from R. Kelly and look like he's part of the conspiracy to take him down.
I want to ask you, but some parts of your question got distorted. Hey, guys.
Can you repeat that?
With regards to marijuana and the taste and everything like that and extortion and all that. So the question is, how come Jeremy David is being targeted also, even though he's also one of the ones who went to extort Robert and take his money and everything like that? Why are Homeland in your opinion indicting him also? Is it to shut him up or anything like that? To have him flip for R. Kelly?
Well, I mean, I can't. What I can do is speak on behalf of what Homeland is doing. But what I can say is, from experience, when you want to show how far you're willing to take it, you indict somebody and say either you're gonna work with us, or you know, or you know, we're coming after you too, because we know your hand is dirty. So, you know, to me, what it appears is that maybe Daryl initially didn't participate because he figured once they dug in, they were going to see exactly how he was directly involved with a lot of these transactions. But Homeland's only after R. Kelly, they ain't after Daryl. So listen, you cut me a deal, then I'll dive in on your side and we'll shut up and make it easier for you.
That one got there specified an important point that a whole lot of people like, you're missing it. You're missing it, you know. You could mention everybody that works for the Ronald McDonald House. At the end of the day, they only wanted predominantly one man. That's fine. You got all this information about this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, that. They only wanted and came for one man, and they turned that whole enterprise stuff into one man. They don't care about all. You can add as many people as you want to whatever argument, whatever part that you want. They wanted R. Kelly. They wanted him. That's all I'm saying. Now you're sitting over there. They should have locked this person up. They should have locked this person up. They should have locked this person up. Believe me, if they wanted them, they would have written them up in a indictment and came down on them just as well, to where you would have literally been seeing more than an R. Kelly, it being in the prosecuted. The same way you see them all fall down over in that YSL case. How many boys they had around that table? That's because they wanted all of them. How many people you seen around the table with R. Kelly? Nobody but him, even though there is visual evidence, I'm going to say, right? Not going to say concrete from paperwork or anything. We seeing this. We analyzing this, that, wait a minute. There should be more people around that table with R. Kelly if we're prosecuting, shouldn't it? Or if They're saying that there's an enterprise, but it wasn't. It certainly wasn't. That's still, yeah, we all caught that as weird. Wait a minute, what's going on here? What? You only gonna pick out one? They picked out one because the stuff that they had that actually brought them the probable cause to accuse him of anything was fresh. It wasn't 20, 30, 40 years ago, other than them bringing in those simple the arguments or a little bit of stepping stone of some Aaliyah who was not there to defend herself. And then now bringing back, which the public seems to realize now that that was something that they had to do, because other than that, they would have not gotten those 30 or whatever plus years. And that was to use Rashonda Landfair again. We got to get her out here. We got to get her. Or this man is either going to walk, or we're not going to get a stiff sentence like what we're reaching for. Where am I? I'm going to fast forward because it is 12:05 and I am out of here at 12:30.
Thank you for calling with a question. That's right. No, and I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that, but that hits the nerve. You're live with Texas Black Diamond. What's your name? Where you from? And what's your question?
Yeah, I see unique spam in the chat with where is Robert Reed? Who is Robert Reed? Because you know that's a government name, and they probably been calling him under a different name out here, and I just never heard it. But who the heck is Robert Reed? I don't know.
You're live with
Beautiful Jones. I don't have a question for Don. I just want to know, why did your mind block me? I'm surprised and why I can't comment.
Okay, what's your name, sweetie? Because I just told them if do not block anyone, as long as they ain't talking about bomb threats, killing, and saying, calling people the B words and stuff like that. Do not take
any of that.
What that's what I'm saying. Just y'all what
my name is Love is Beautiful Jones.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go in there and find it. Okay, Love is Beautiful Jones. It probably was done by accident. I remember you. What was your question though? What you put up there?
A question for Don.
Okay, Mama just saying what you put up there. I mean, maybe I can answer it or see what it is.
You said you don't have a question.
Okay, all right, sweetie. You have a blessing. Okay. Just text that name to me and I'll look it up, because I don't want to go out of this screen because I might miss up something.
Okay, it is a number.
Yeah, just send me your information through this number here.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me fast forward. Let's get up out of here.
That's real. I believe now was a plan. Daryl McDavid was turned.
All right, let's bag it up and hear who the name called.
Yeah. She was in there all this time. Her daddy said they sent her to acting school, and I really backed her and stuff. I had heartfelt feelings for her and stuff. But then I believe that girl was in the whole time sneaking around when that man wasn't in his home and stuff, getting information for her dad, probably recording conversations with her and Jocelyn, her and his attorney. You don't know how much of stuff she recorded and snuck behind that man back.
That's true. I mean, that's true. I mean, her being at the house the other day with your dad, my dad, and then she even went on his show and said that she had been in communication with her parents the whole time, which I knew partially. Yeah. I knew she was talking to her mom. I didn't know she was talking to her dad, but who knows? I mean, that's just it. I mean, you know, they've been working. It's like entrapment. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like they've been working to entrap him in a scenario that he couldn't basically build a case from thin air because they had some vendetta against him. I mean, but they keep planting people in that their main role is to, you know, capture him in a certain element I mean, who's to say that these people didn't create the element that they had to catch him in? I mean, if you plant somebody in there, with that's real, I believe.
I'd like to speak on that a minute because you will hear a few times that he was set up how. He was set up how. And I can elaborate on the information that was put out here that qualifies it being a setup. Anytime that you feel that you had to approach R. Kelly based on whatever it is that the parents pushed her to do, to say that you were this age, but then it turns out to be another age, and the ID is saying that it is a legal age. To me, that qualifies as a setup. I can't look at it no other way. If you had come to me with the right age on the information that I asked, and I noticed that it says underage, then I would have had that choice to say, no, you got to go home, little girl. To my understanding, he found that out. To my understanding, he did send her home. To my understanding, like she says, at some point in time that she was turning 18. But then now we in the court of law where they all of a sudden over here, it's legal at 16, but over here it ain't legal until you're 20. Systematically set up. That's crazy. Then I'm hearing, well, how, did this argument end up over here about the preferable age being legal at 18? That's how the law puts it. It's real crazy. I remember the big arguments out here about, well, it's 14 in Mississippi and it's so-and-so over here in Arizona and so-and-so. It was just, I remember going through that with, just sitting here listening to this.
Daryl McDavid was turned over on him years ago. Willard, it's a whole bunch of guys that worked with Rob that I'm looking at, and I'm looking at all these emails that were coming in that they were getting to themselves and using them to set up certain things. And I'm like, why would he do that? I mean, that whole situation with Rob going to Dubai to do that show, and that's part of why he didn't get a bail. That's funny when people are saying shit, they're ignoring that. He was supposed to sneak his people out of Indiana on a private jet to Dubai and do some shows, and they were going to hire him over there. And then the judge, of course, took his passport after that. That's why he didn't get a bail. But it was one.
Well, on there, Doc, because Booker, my sound gone again. What? Oh, Lord. It better not be, because if it's gone, then guess what? I'm about to go to bed. Wait a minute. Let me see. Is it really? No, I can hear it. Wait a minute. No, I can hear it. I can hear it. You hit volume on your phone and turned it down. I can hear it. But now, what was I about to say? Because it's on. I can hear it. I had to go on my phone. That's how I be checking it out now. Checking out on my phone. But let me rewind this. This is the important part. Very important part. Listen to this book. Listen to this.
I'm looking at all these emails that were coming in that they were getting.
Can you hear it?
To themselves and using them to set up certain things. And I'm like, why would he do that? I mean, that whole situation with Rob going to what was it, Dubai, to do that show.
Going to
You know,
Dubai.
and that's part of why he didn't get a bail. That's funny when people are saying shit. They ain't doing that. He was supposed to sneak his people out of Indiana on a private jet to Dubai and do some shows, and they were gonna hide him over there. And then the judge, of course,
but that ain't what you said. You said that it was this person's fault. It was the janky protest. You named it. You said that this person's fault did it. It was this person's fault. Now, Don Russell says that that's not what happened. He says that it was about some people that was trying to get him to fly out over to Dubai. Or maybe you didn't know about that. Maybe you didn't know about that, but that's what he said. Now, somebody, Bookham, is lying around here. Somebody's lying, Bookham.
I'm looking at all these emails that
I gotta hear it again, though.
To themselves and using them to set up certain things, and I'm like, why would he do that? I mean, that whole situation with Rob going to what was it, Dubai, to do that show, you know, and that's part of why he didn't get a bail. That's funny when people are saying shit, they're ignoring that. He was supposed to sneak his people out of Indiana on a private jet to Dubai and do some shows, and they were going to hide him over there. And then the judge, of course, took his passport after that. That's why he didn't get a bail. But it was one person that...
And I remember now Greenberg arguing with, what's his name? Lunan Weber, down there in Chicago, about he had a show. I remember that now. Yeah, I do. I remember that now.
And I know negotiated that deal, that was Willard, period. Your faith guy. And I cussed Willard's ass out alone in a group text with R. Kelly saying, you stupid motherfucker. Why would you send somebody a text or email saying that Rob is going to sneak out of fucking Indiana?
Booker, now you telling me that I shouldn't believe that Don Russell didn't have R. Kelly on the phone with whoever this guy is that he's speaking about, saying what he's saying in front of R. Kelly, but we should believe that you stood down there and said that you will slap the beat out of that man. Really? At least he brought a witness along. He said R. Kelly was on the phone and could contest to that. You ain't say nobody was down there to contest to you. I know your volume was down. You talking about me pressing buttons. You sit over there, press that button on that phone. Because I do that sometimes too. And the way we be holding it, next thing you know, your thumb then sent the volume down. Like, damn it. I'm just saying, though, Book. I'm just saying.
On a private jet with two of his girlfriends to go do a show in Dubai, and he didn't have a passport. Why would you do that? For them to show it and show him up, that's part of the reason they denied his bond. Because
remember that. Do y'all remember that? I remember when that argument was had. He was trying to get him to go over to Dubai, but yet then the passport was unquestionable. Yeah, I remember that one there. Booker, you weren't going to Dubai, so ain't no need you even argued on this subject here. We're going to keep it moving. Look at that, Pico Benz. Y'all remember when Pico Benz was out here? Yeah, Pico Benz. He was a favorite over on Dr. Rogers' channel.
Already showed his willingness to jump on a plane out of Indiana and fly to Dubai. Willard is the only one who knew about that shit because he negotiated that deal, period.
What? Well, Bookham, you ain't tell us about Willard. Willard planned that whole trip to Dubai, or you just didn't know about it?
Anyone that thinks that this guy is a celebrity, and they don't think like attorneys are sneaky and undermining and hold things back. I have had several things like cases and had attorneys, and they could have solved the cases long ago, but they was just stringing along to attach more money for them. They don't care about you. They care about themselves. In this high-profile celebrity case, Greenberg, if he wins, it's going to make him way popular. But even some of those people, they know each other, and they work for each other. and they don't, some of the attorneys that you hire, give your money to, they know off the bat they're going to do everything to throw in and rent your case, and they'll do that. That's how they are. They know each other, sit down at the table with each other, have break bread with each other and stuff like that. When I saw Mesro on there, because I believe in Mesro, I was so excited and elated. But then I honestly, I didn't think the ego.
Fast forward. What time is it? What
And
time?
I'm trying to give her,
15
I
minutes.
want her to call in to, I need her to call in, you have a blessed weekend. One of the members from the Me Too, I want her to call in, because they are powerful, and their team.
So, I mean, I would send it to Greenberg if I were you, just to be safe, because, and I'm not for Greenberg, but he represents Rob. Doug Anton is on the New York case, and I know Greenberg is actually using Doug Anton's license to represent Rob because he's not licensed out of New York to represent him. So I would say just send it to Greenberg directly. I mean, that would be the person to send it to, because legally he is the attorney you can also.
They sure do.
Yeah, and that's it. The whole person that I would suggest.
He represented Scott Peterson. He's the one who murdered his wife. And Scott Peterson actually dropped Greenberg because he claimed he never picked up his discovery. So just to point out that Greenberg he's not even equipped to actually handle a case of Rob's magnitude. And also, Doug Anton is a sports attorney out of New Jersey. So he's brought on to handle Rob's cases for his contract in Dubai. That is why he was actually brought on. So Rob needs an attorney in New York.
He was what, Tracy? Doug Anton was brought on to handle cases in Dubai. I didn't know that. So the defense fund wasn't set up to raise the money for R. Kelly for the cases that was going on in Chicago, or furthermore with New York. Hold on. Let me see what Tracy said on this again. Hold on here. Hold on. What was Doug's Anton position again?
Right.
What? He came on to handle cases for Rob's contracts in Dubai. Uh.
That is why he was actually going on. So Rob needs an attorney in New York that actually handles federal cases for like RICO. New York is the best type of place to actually hire RICO.
So Booker, would it be fair to say that you was helping to raise the defense money to help defend whatever cases that was going on in Dubai for R. Kelly? Maybe you should clear that up. Maybe you should point that out, that that's what you were out here raising the money for, because, I mean, Tracy from The Viewpoint said that that's what Doug Anton was doing as a sports attorney. Imagine that, imagine that, imagine that, imagine. See, I don't think I ever heard Doug Anton mention anything about it being the defense fund money being raised on behalf of any cases out of Dubai. If I'm not mistaken, he made it appear that the money was being raised based on the cases that were being held off or off the back of the indictments that had happened for New York and Chicago. So what? Something to make you go, interesting. Interesting, Booker. It is so interesting. And I listen, because I know you know. And I know you will be dying to come back on your channel to tell the truth about what you know about how and everybody's a damn fool and he didn't have no cases over in Dubai. And I'm just saying, I can see you getting ready and geared up for that.
Because normally RICO is for like managed care companies and also mob cases and things like that. So none of his attorneys besides Nicole Blank Decker is equipped to handle any of his cases. So I don't even know why Greenberg has power of attorney, because normally people who are sick or incapacitated get power of attorney. So that absolutely makes no sense to me at all. And Mazzaro is a good attorney, but he's not even really, I don't even know why he was even brought on, because he fell asleep during the Cosby case. So I don't even know why he was. But those are just my points. And you're absolutely right. Rob probably never even looked at none of his contracts because, he can't really read too much. But those are just my points. I think that, this is already the middle of January, and his cases are coming up in May. So the fact that those, and even the judge said that his discovery has never been picked up is not surprising. That's a fact. That discovery should have been picked up a long time ago. But like Greenberg said, his family is not starving. He drives a Maserati. So that goes to tell you right now, he's gouging Rob out of money, and he's probably taking it for nothing. He could have sent his paralegal or had a messenger pick up those discoveries. So right now, nothing is getting done for those cases. So thank you again for taking my call, and that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I am totally stuck on that one there, Booker. Because I don't ever think that I heard a Doug Anton mention anything about cases in Dubai. I really don't.
There's no product that's ever created without there being a necessity for it. So up till now, there wasn't really a necessity for an organization to exist to operate in the capacity that we're speaking about. Now there is a necessity for it because they're picking our icons off one at a time. We're sitting back and watching some of the greatest go down annually. Every year somebody goes, a star falling. And and that just doesn't make sense to me when stars on the other side can live 100 years, but just our stars
who are been found to be liars. For instance, you have Lisa Van Allen, who
Well, that's it.
Well, you have my number. If you can text me and we all can work together in silence, and then we can get information out there so we can get it going. If we see how Me Too in the rest of these movements, how they move in silence, you see how fast they got it done, and we didn't even know, like with Trump. And all these ladies started marching all of a sudden. I'm like, damn, they ain't heard. And I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it because they did it a little bit in silence. We keep from having distractions, because we do have that, and we go through a lot. And we're praying for Robert, we're praying for Popcorn, for Miss Lily, we're praying for everybody that's fighting in this movement, because it's more They're just operating, they're trying to do something, the post time, the post work, and I'm gonna allow a lot of people to jump down my throat and have to mention my daughters, but I have sons and I have gone through that shit before.
If you don't have him, who's going to protect your daughter?
Yeah, and that's thank you. And I have boys as well, and I have gone through that, and I'm fighting for my males as
That's how I feel about all of that. Why you sitting over there in your life want to do a one pat poos over this goddamn crap? Boy, shut up. Now, y'all go on and have y'all self a good night. Guess what? We are almost at 1,000 over here on the ONEPAPOOSE channel, man. It's 898. Y'all go ahead on, hit that like button, subscribe, share the channel. Let's get this channel over here as well up to 1,000. Let's get channel on up to if y'all stop pressing that laughing button down there, then I can listen. Then I'll stop. I know one thing. I better be able to get up tomorrow in like 4 hours messing with y'all so I know y'all can get this channel up, man. Get it up, get it up, get it up, up. Yep, get it up, let it up, get it up. I just had to throw that out there for shits and giggles. That's all. That's all I did. It's enough to continue to make her mad at me for no reason. Just mad, Booker. Booker, why you mad at me for? Jesus Christ. Holy smokeroonie, boy. Holy smokeroonie. Why? Why? It don't take all of that. You know what, Booker? You don't even know how to be mad at me. You be trying real hard, right? Because you never even stay on you never even stay on point, on on track. It's almost like as soon as you done saying yuck mouth, that's it. The end of my roast is over with. I be kind of sad over here. Like, what are you talking about? That's it? That's all you going to play? Are you kidding me right now? No, that can't be it. I want more. I need to do some laughter, boy, laughter. I'm looking for something right quick. Hold on. I think it's over here. Wait a minute. Talking about what you got. I'm gonna go ahead on and throw all this stuff in different files now because I'm almost about wrapping it up, man. Bunch of the old stuff don't mean much, but not anymore. The stuff is dead and gone. Dead and gone. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for coming, showing out. Don't forget.